Super Mario 3D All-Stars gave me the opportunity to play through Super Mario Sunshine on stream alongside Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy. And to no one's surprise, I feel as if Super Mario Sunshine is by far the weakest of the three. Like, Super Mario 64 has established itself as one of the greatest games of all time. And Super Mario Galaxy is one of the best, most beloved Mario games of all time. And Sunshine, for a really, really long time, its main claim to fame is that, like, it's the GameCube Mario game. But I think, you know, it being re-released in this fashion alongside like two vastly superior games, it really needs to be said that like Sunshine is by and large a rather weak experience, like possibly one of the weaker Nintendo titles on the GameCube. It's really interesting to me to think that like Luigi's Mansion is better than this. Wind Waker is better than this. Eternal Darkness is better than this. Rogue Squadron, Super Monkey Ball. Like there are so many early GameCube games that I love so much more than this. Like Sunshine does have its high points. Like I love its creative environments. I love I love the dirt, the grime. I love like the atmosphere. It feels like a real lived-in community, right? Like the worlds feel so much more alive than they did in 64. But from a pure gameplay perspective, when it comes from a content perspective, when it comes to like the physics and how well they function, the level design, it all comes together to create a game that isn't particularly special or interesting compared to the vast majority of games in this franchise, which is of course, the Super Mario series, the most innovative, most beloved video game franchise on the planet. Obviously, Sunshine is still a far step. It's a big step above shit like Crash Bandicoot, Jak and Daxter, Ratchet and Clank. It's still a lot better than like subpar third-party titles, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, like things like that, right? Like there were a lot of really terrible 3D platformers around that time, and Mario, being on such a high level, still surpasses all of them. But at the same time, like Sunshine doesn't reach the same heights that its predecessor or sequel did. Like, it simply suffers from a wide range of problems that I wanted to really talk about today. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, the content issue. Like, Super Mario Sunshine has a very real problem when it comes to like the amount of actual gameplay this game has. It is significantly less than 64 in basically every respect you can think of. There are less levels. There are less stars in the levels. There are less things to find. There are less secrets. There are less things to uncover. Like Sunshine sort of does this thing where it presents the world to you in a way that makes it look flashy. You can technically do more things. You can slide. You have this backpack. There are these underground sections. Like the areas are bigger. Like it looks like there's a lot more going on in Sunshine, but in reality, all it really takes for you to get a star, a shine in any given situation, is to simply go from point A to point B. Like, look at where you're supposed to go, like, when the level first starts, get over there, and then do whatever you need to do. Like, unlike 64, which was filled with so much mystery, so much intrigue, like, so many things to find and discover in this castle in each of its 15 courses, like, there are courses in 64, entire worlds, that you could very easily miss. Sunshine feels way more straightforward, it feels way more streamlined, and as a result, it's nowhere near as appealing. Basically everything in Sunshine, except maybe for the controls and the camera and some minor technical improvements, is a step down. Right, the bosses aren't as interesting. The stars aren't as interesting to collect. There aren't as many secrets to find. Like, Sunshine suffers from a wide variety of things that 64 excelled in. Like 64, from a pure gameplay perspective, far surpasses Sunshine in basically every meaningful way. Sunshine's main appeal, I think, being the new Mario game, it was just next-gen Mario. Like, in a lot of ways, it feels like more of the same, but worse, right? Like, it's more Super Mario 64, but with none of that spark that made 64, like, one of the best games ever made, right? Like, 64 did so much. Like, to this day, people can go back, play through 64, and have a lot of fun, right? And to a certain extent, that's true with Sunshine as well. But being me, being a more experienced player, going through Sunshine for the first time in 3 years, I I play through Super Mario 64 several times a year. Like, I think I've played through it about 3 times this year, and I never get tired of it because there's always so much stuff to do. Like, every moment is fantastic. Every music track is phenomenal. Every star is in some way appealing to get. Sunshine just does not hit the same notes, and a big part of that is due to the fact that it's so front-loaded in content. By the time you get to the end of Sunshine, about halfway through the game, you basically have all of the real stars, right? The vast majority of the 120 stars, the shines in this game, are really nonsensical, hidden stars that are, like, hidden throughout the world. Stars that you probably wouldn't be able to find. Of course, you have... Not hidden in a good way, by the way. The vast majority of stars are hidden behind this blue coin system that are hidden throughout, like, all of the courses in the game. So in order to get all the stars in this, you have to go through every single level in every single course, every single shine in every single level to be able to find every single shine in this game. It's really, really obnoxious because the levels change radically depending on which star you pick. So you're going to have to take every single shine in every single level to find every single blue coin so you can get every single shine. It's honestly completely pointless. Going through my playthrough this time, like, I honestly feel as if I and most players tend to just typically stop after beating Bowser. Like, unless you're specifically going for a 100% run just to say you did it, like, there is no real appeal in finding all the blue coins. Like, it's not challenging, it's not fun, it's not interesting. It's boring and pathetic. It just drags on. It just drags the game out for, like, way longer than it needs to be. It's padded, and a good portion of the game feels that way. Like, you're going to go through a lot of the same kind of material, like a lot of the same kind of content, a lot of the same areas. Like, you're going to be going down a lot of the same paths, doing the same sort of things. It gets really, really repetitive. Like, the game feels a lot more repetitive than 64 did. Like, you see like rehashed bosses, like, used later for just a minor fight. Like, it just, compared to what 64 did, like, it had original content, like, all throughout the game. It feels very, very lazy and very, very tacked on. Like, I do not care at all for how this game reuses so much of its content. I think it's very, very disappointing. I find it very, very underwhelming. It's very, very frustrating. Now that isn't to say the game doesn't have good moments. There are very good. The levels themselves are very well designed. Better, I would say, than 64's, but there's so few of them, and there's so few good stars in each of the levels that you end up, like, wishing there were more of them. You know what I mean? Like, there are good moments in the game. There are moments you like when you're surfing on bloopers, when you're fighting certain bosses, when you're in the underground, when you're climbing up cliffs, taking advantage of the improved platforming mechanics, right? Going through these obstacle courses. Like, there are some really positive aspects to the game design that I think are technical improvements over 64, but they're so infrequent, they're so uncommon that they typically are introduced and you're done with them very, very quickly. Like the average star in this game can be done in about like 5 minutes. For a really, really good level, that's what, like 5 minutes, like maybe 15 minutes every course. Like in a course with like 8 stars, like most of the shines in each course are just busy work. You're just like exploring an area, getting to know it. Like take this one for example, the mech one. Like you're just going up here, getting on the roller coaster, and then fighting this giant mech, which sounds awesome, and it is a lot of fun, but it's introduced and dropped so quickly. It's difficult to feel really, really invested in what's going on. It's in a lot of ways, I feel like Odyssey kind of took this aspect, this idea of like these major confrontations, and sort of made them a lot more appealing. Like rather than having the 64 structure of having you like choose shines, you sort of just explore a wide open area and accomplish tasks to progress the story. Odyssey, I think, kind of nailed this. What Sunshine was going for a lot better. You're exploring more areas. The characters are more interesting. There's more things to do. The mechanics are more fleshed out. Sunshine, Odyssey, it feels like, is a better version of Sunshine in a lot of ways. It's really hard to recommend Sunshine to anyone who's not a hardcore fan, who's just sort of has to play everything Mario related that comes out. I think 64 is better. I think Galaxy is better. I think Odyssey is better. I think like basically every 3D Mario game is better than this. I think it's a rather weak GameCube title. I wouldn't recommend it to. I wouldn't recommend it to people who have never played a Mario game before. Like, there are better games on GameCube. I would push you towards Wind Waker, Luigi's Mansion, Pikmin. Like, Sunshine. Sunshine needed to do a lot more, I think. I think it was too rushed. I think it needed more levels. I think it needed more shines. I think it needed less red coins, less blue coins. I think they needed to fix some of these side missions, because a lot of them are notoriously broken. I might go into a little bit more detail on that in another video, but by and large, like, I don't want to say I disliked playing through Sunshine again, but like compared to Galaxy and 64, which are basically timeless classics at this point, Sunshine feels a lot more like it's aged very, very poorly. Like, whenever I play it, it feels like I could be doing something else. Like, whereas, like, 64, I'll pop in, like, 120 stars every time. Like, Galaxy, I'll go through 120 stars every time. Like every star in those games are phenomenally well-structured. They're paced well, they feel good to accomplish, and none of them are ever tedious to collect. But in Sunshine, it's just so the opposite. Like there are so many shines in this game that are just boring and just feel almost kind of pointless to collect. If you play Sunshine, my suggestion would just to beat Bowser and then you're done. You're pretty much basically done with the game at that point. Like, after that point, it's basically just padding. Like, sure, there are more shines technically, but they honestly aren't at all worth collecting. So, with Super Mario 3D All-Stars, including Sunshine in its bundle, with, like, 3D All-Stars being the most accessible, easy way to play Sunshine, you're probably going to end up playing it anyway. Like, no matter what my recommendation is, just to try it out. And I would say it is worth playing, like, in that collection, because it is like a mainline Mario game. It does have its sort of its appeal, but it really is worth noting just how much lower quality it is compared to a lot of the others. Like, there are plenty of better Mario games. There are plenty of other Mario games that are far better than this, and those are way more worthy of your time than this is.